Guys, thanks for tuning in today's Florida Drive-By. I hope everybody's doing pretty good, man. Today I wanted to do a quick drive-by, and I am in southern Florida, of course, on the I75. It's about 88 degrees. I am going about, 62 miles an hour, so it's about 12:34. And today I believe is April 10th of 2015. I hope everybody's doing pretty good. I wanted to bring up a subject here, and this is going to really be about the different type of guns that people own and the different quality, and why would you pick one gun over the other. I'm going to really focus on the 1911 right now. And let me say, by no means am I a 1911 expert, but I have owned Ed Brown's, Nighthawks, Wilson Combat, Kimber, ATI, quite a few of the 1911 Springfield Armory in different forms, one or another. And going through those, I'm going to just give my impression of what I feel, of those guns are the best 1911s and why. First of all, let me say there's a wide price spread on guns in general. Whether you're getting a 1911, whether you're getting, just a regular Glock, whatever you're going to get, there's a price, a very wide variance in prices. And the variances usually, guys, are due to how much it costs them to manufacture, sell, and market the gun. So, it's comparable to cars. A Chevy, a Ferrari, or Mercedes. What goes into building that car, the marketing, the support behind it. So there's a wide cornucopia of facts behind it. Now, if you just want a gun that goes boom, that's accurate, you could go out and get a cheap used Colt, or get any kind of used 1911. I think even Star makes a 1911. There's a lot of companies that make 1911s that will shoot. They will do the job. They will be fairly accurate, and they're great. There's a lot of people out there that say that, and that's fine. But anybody that's, gets out there and says, they're very inexpensive, cheap gun is going to outshoot, be better quality than a very expensive gun, they're wrong. And the only reason I say this, because most of your high quality guns are made, are machined out of better quality metals, and they are finished off and assembled and fitted by hand. So when you have that quality of detail, that is detail a machine could never approach even. Because machined parts, and there's machined parts in there, don't get me wrong. They use high quality, equipment, laser cutters and things like that to cut the parts out. But actually they get it, it's hand sanding, it's hand fitting the slide, it's hand fitting the tolerances, checking the bearings, the parts with micrometers and lasers, and to make sure all this stuff mates up perfect. And then you get a very smooth firing gun that's very accurate and very reliable. And it's just the way it is. And I can compare some of the rugged ones, like a Kimber is a fairly expensive gun. It's not cheap. A nice Kimber, you're going to pay between $800 and probably $1,600. That's a lot for a gun. That's not a low quality, low cost gun. But the only problem with Kimber, they have in those guns, for that kind of price you're paying, the tolerances are really flush fit. They're not built by hand. They're assembled like on an assembly line. There's a lot of finishing and fit that they don't pay attention to. And also, the guns have a lot of metal injection molded parts. what that means is there's a few ways you can make a part. Let's just go the trigger. There's a few ways you can make a trigger, okay? You can take a billet piece of stainless steel or carbon steel, and you can, out of that billet piece, machine a trigger. And it usually uses computerized lasers and cutting equipment and stuff like that. And you can cut a trigger out of that. Or you can get a mold and make a mold of the trigger. Usually it's done under high pressure. These, I can't remember how the molds are. They might be metal. They might be a better, a real high melting point metal. But anyway, you would take powder and pour it into the mold, seal it up, and there's a lot of heat and pressure. The heat and pressure would actually melt the powder. It's not like metal. It's powdered like filings, and it would melt it and put it under pressure. You would open the mold, cool it off, and then you would have a trigger. Now the difference between those two, and every day usage is probably really nothing, but it is a metal injection part, which is not billets machined. And some people, if they're paying $1,500, $1,600 on a gun, they do not want that part on their gun, because that is not the only part that a lot of companies use it for. They usually use it for parts that are safeties, the hammer, the trigger, hammer struts, slide safeties, grip safeties, and a few other little parts. It's the magazine releases and stuff like that. So they use all these parts. You can see the cop. I'm trying to turn in this left lane because in Florida, if there's a cop in there, you're supposed to turn over, and the people don't want to let me go. They should slow down. They know it's a friggin' law. But anyway, what are you gonna do? So, metal injection parts, are they good or are they bad? Well, if you're paying a lot of money for a gun, I don't want them on my gun. If you buy a Wilson Comet, you're not going to have any metal injection parts at all. If you buy a new Ed Brown, you're not going to have any metal injection parts. If you buy a Les Bear or Wilson Combat or any of those guns, chances are you're not going to have the injection molded parts. Okay. If you buy a Desert Eagle, you're going to have those parts. Don't ask me why. That's a $2,000 gun. $2,000 gun. They shouldn't have those in there. You are going to have some metal injection parts, and mostly it's probably going to be the hammer. It's probably going to be the trigger. It's probably going to be the takedown lever. It's probably going to be magazine release. Crap like that's going to probably be metal injection parts. It's going to be a better quality than your normal metal injection parts like on a Kimber, because they use Phillips metal injection parts, which are very high quality. So you have to weigh the cost. Now there's some cheaper guns that use very few metal injection parts. I believe a SIG 1911 is a really good choice to buy one. But metal injection parts, 1911s, expensive, cheap. Put it this way: if you've never, and you just go to a store like to a gun shop that carries them. If you've never held in your hand an expensive 1911. Like a $2,000-$3,000, like an Ed Brown or a Wilson Combat or a Nighthawk Custom or one of those. If you've never held it in your hand, go to a gun store, hold it in your hand. That's all you got to do. You will know the difference of the gun immediately. It just fits better. It's a better fitting gun. Their fit and finish is better. It's just when you cycle the slide, they're very smooth. It's just overall, you get what you pay for, and that goes in everything. It goes in guns, it goes in safes, it goes in cars, it goes in houses and services, it goes in life. You get basically what you pay for. If you pay for something very cheap, and you're going to that's what you're going to get. They cannot produce the gun or the product at that same level as a higher expensive one, because they just can't. Because because all that's quality, there's expense involved, there's salaries, there's equipment. They just can't. You know, like will an expensive 1911 shoot? Yes, it will shoot just as fine. You know, it will stop a thread probably just as fine. It's just not going to have that fit and finish or the quality that an expensive one is. And if you want to get a gun where you don't have to get another one and you want to have it for the rest of your life with a good warranty and everything, then you're going to want to spend a little bit more. Myself, I would rather have 5 really nice high-end guns that are all good quality, top of the line, that are going to be worth something still, than, you know, 10 lower-end cheap guns. And granted, if you're just shooting and you don't care about collectability of them, that's fine. But, you know, I would like to be able to take my gun around and sell it if I have to get some money if I had to get rid of it or something. Because they all depreciate. Even a brand new $3,000 at Brown, you know, you might get $2,800 for it when you sell it. They all do, let's just face it. But it's the amount of depreciation that you don't want. And if you don't fire it, you'll get more. I mean, I've got some guns I haven't even fired. And I haven't fired them because, you know, they cost me so much and I want to keep them in good shape. I'd rather have a shitty gun than fire. So if I want to go out and get my fun out, you know, maybe I'll fire the new gun a few times to break it in and see what it fires like. But then after that, I'll just use my crappy guns. You know, if I got an old 1911 that's been beat up, and I can take that out and shoot it. You know,
Interstate 75 northbound.
It doesn't matter. But you know, I wanted to bring that up, and that's just, you know, high end, low end. You know, what's your choice? But most people that are talking shit about expensive 1911s or high end guns have probably never owned those guns, so they have no way to say if it's good or it's bad. If they owned it, then they would know. And a lot of it has to do with the shooter. Some people are saying that they're going to outshoot a high-end gun. Well, probably the shooter will outshoot. You know, it's probably just a better shooter, not necessarily a better gun. But thanks a lot, and have a great day. I appreciate you tuning in to my Florida drive-by. And it is 88 degrees now, and I think I'm going over the Peace River. I can't remember, because I've still got an hour and a half to go, 44 miles. I'm going to Sarasota, Florida, so I don't remember where along the line I am. Let me just see, I can tell you. Let's see. A lot of water. Some manatees. This is manatees there, so it's manatee crossing. Anytime it gets cold out here, a lot of your manatees die.
After 1/2 mile, keep left.
Yeah, that's...
Interstate 75 northbound.
Yeah, my GPS keeps talking. Yeah, that is the Peace River. So, because this is Port Charlotte exit right here, 167.
Keep left.
And exit 170 would be Kings Highway. There's actually a Walmart on there. I wonder if they got any ammunition. But thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate your time. 2 New York State plates. One's a Porsche and one's a BMW. They're in the left lane. I don't know if you can see those 2 black cars.
Follow Interstate 75 northbound for 39 miles.
And that is a Florida plate. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a great day. You know, maybe in my travels I get some crazy drivers on tape. Usually what happens, I got a lot of crazy drivers that cut right in front of me. They don't even use damn blinkers anymore. And it's like, see, that guy used his, but sometimes they'll just cut right in front of you. They don't have a clue. But anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in to my Florida drive-by. I hope everybody's doing great and having a good day. And, you know, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.